People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The issues. Don't just react. Understand. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome to Kitty's Corner. Every weekend is a new journey. Join Auntie Oni as she embarks on thrilling adventures. Each episode takes the young explorers to a different fantastical world filled with exciting challenges, making new friends and learning valuable life lessons. The show begins with lots of excitement in a cozy storytelling mood. Fairies teach the importance of kindness, honesty, bravery, teamwork, or curiosity. Kitty's Corner is a delightful blend of fun, education, and imagination with catchy songs, interactive games, and heartwarming stories. Join Auntie Oni every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Voice of the People Television. Kitty's Corner, perfect destination for curious minds.
2564 is coming up on Burning 9, right?
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m. only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome, guys. The show is Hashtags right here on VOP TV. This is where we get to tell you all things trending, all things topical. I promise you today it's going to be some very, very, very hot edition, right? So if this is your first time, accept a very, very warm welcome from us. My name is Vivian Uguche.
Hi guys, good evening and welcome to Hashtag on Voice of People TV. I am Ikechukwu Agwago. This is where you get to get the answer to the question, what's trending? Because we're definitely bringing you everything trending across the globe at every point. I don't know why Vivian is laughing. Of course, today promises to be another very exciting edition of the show. Vivian, what's up? What's trending?
Yeah, what's trending is why we're here. So we begin with Hashtag Peter Obi. So he's trending under various hashtags, right? The very first one is campaign vehicles. So that's the very first hashtag we are going to start with, campaign vehicle. Peter Obi is also trending under hashtag ADC. So let's begin with campaign vehicles. Just yesterday, Sarah Reporters put up a post of a number of campaign vehicles that were donated to some states ahead of the 2027 general elections. And it was painted, these vehicles I'm telling you about, was, you know, painted with Renew Hope, mantra, Tinubu 2027, and all of that. So Peter Obi came down very hard on politicians. That's what he said, but he's coming down hard on the president. He said, you can't even do this amidst insecurity and hardship. So let me take you to X now, so you take a look at the post Sahara Reporters put up. It is hashtag campaign vehicles. Thank you. Sahara Reporters says Tinubu distributes a new Hilux Hammer bus to states for 2027 campaign amid soaring insecurity. Now, take a look at Peter Obi's response to that. The vehicles and the whatever.
Today, I'm a member of Labour Party.
Okay.
And I subscribe to coalition, ADC coalition for 2027 election.
Okay.
And I believe in it.
Okay.
But as much as I believe in it, I need to know the fundamentals that we all agree to respect. But you know,
I apologize for that massive mess up. Was due to technicalities, stuff beyond our control. That video of Peter Obi talking is supposed to come under another hashtag, which is hashtag ADC. But right now we are discussing campaign vehicles, right? Where Peter Obi released a statement saying that it is insensitive for the presidency to do that, or for politicians to do that in the midst of hardship. That's the post I've been wanting to talk about. So Peter Obi says distribution of campaign vehicles, profound insensitivity and abuse of trust. At a time when Nigerians are struggling with hunger, unemployment, and insecurity, the decision of any government to allocate limited public resources for distributing Hilux vehicles like Hilux trucks and Hummer buses as part of the 2027 campaign mobilization is not only insensitive but also represents a serious moral failure. Goes on to say, while ordinary Nigerians are grappling with poverty and hopelessness, those in leadership positions continue to flaunt their wealth by driving brand new Land Cruisers, Hiluxes, and Hummers, treating the suffering of the people as mere background for political theatrics. This tragic misplacement of priorities is unacceptable. Leadership, especially in these challenging times, should focus on providing food for the hungry, ensuring access to healthcare for the sick, restoring hope for millions of unemployed youth, and securing our communities. It should not be about parading luxury vehicles or campaigning for votes. There's another part of the post. Let's take a look at it. So he says, it is disheartening that at a time when children are dropping out of school because their families cannot afford tuition fees, when mothers are dying during childbirth due to a lack of basic medical supplies, and when insecurity is tearing families apart, the response from those in power is to purchase and distribute luxury vehicles rather than urgently addressing the need of the people. This is not governance. It reflects a profound insensitivity and an abuse of public trust disguised as a political strategy. It betrays the essence of public service, which should always be about serving the people rather than staging political publicity. At times like this, we must recognize that Nigeria cannot continue on a path of wastefulness, insensitivity, and misplaced priorities. Our citizens deserve leadership grounded in empathy, prudence, and accountability. Regardless of how bleak the situation may appear today, I firmly believe that a new Nigeria is not only necessary, it is possible, and it is signed PO. So there are more reactions now under this hashtag. Let's continue to take a look at them. So Ekwano says money that should be used to tackle insecurity and uplift the morale of law enforcement personnel is being used to acquire brand new Jeeps and Hummer buses for campaign. Everything to this man is selfish politics. No compassion for the poor masses. Meanwhile, everywhere is quiet. And he says, Banana Republic. Yana says, absolutely fantastic points, Peter. A new Nigeria is definitely possible. And Block says, luxury rides, hungry times. Udi High says, what is wrong with the people entrusted to manage public funds? But there's a dissenting voice here. A group has come out to say that this is fake news, that the report Sahara Reporters put up was fake, and that the president shouldn't be blamed. Take a look. So, I'm just going to settle for Maltino 01. Yeah? Maltino 01 says, once again, Sahara Reporters has pushed a misleading narrative, falsely linking President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the alleged distribution of buses for the 2027 campaign. For the record, that initiative was independently carried out by a support group, the Renewed Hope Ambassadors, without any directive or funding from the president. This same administration has in under 3 years recorded visible progress across the country: infrastructure, aviation, student loans, and then he goes on to say foreign reserves, etc. These are verifiable facts. There's a concluding part of this post. Let's take a look at it. Well, it looks, I don't even understand what's going on in Ikechukwu, but hey, this is what's going on. In a short while, I'd like for us to also take a look at, the videos of the campaign buses we are talking about while we talk about it, so that people will understand that this is exactly what's happening. So another group has come out to say that this is fake news that Sahara Reporter is pushing. So can we have the visuals of these buses now? I think we saw a sneak peek. Okay, that's it now, with the Renewed Hope logo. But Peter Obi is having none of this.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a politician, so he understands how money for these stuffs comes But the truth is, when you start looking into the way the money comes, definitely you see it's tied to political patronage, people trying to actually, show their loyalty to the president. Mr. President, we are fully behind you. I'm definitely going to lead your campaign in so part of the country. I'm going to do this because they also need certain favors. So if the president comes back to office or for what he's done for them. So it is part of what politicians do. And for the person who is saying, it's actually misleading that it's from the president, I think to an extent, the person might also be very right because, like I said before, some of these politicians just go out to actually start creating posters, banners, and do all sort of stuff, in the name of the president to show that, they are loyal and to also push, the narrative that the president is actually doing all he can to actually make the life of people better. So sometimes, yes, it's very possible. And also, Peter Obi's call is also timely because at this point, people who are actually pushing it, I don't know if they really thought it through to understand that the president at this point, should actually be seen as someone who really care about the people. People actually are dying, people are hungry. So for this level of flamboyance to be displayed at this point is somehow not really timely. But then again, it's politics for politicians. That's what they actually care first, before any other thing. And if you look at
when you say compared to 2 months ago, the president suddenly is paying attention to governance. You do know that there was so much hue and cry months ago that the president was actually concentrating on politicking and not governance. But it looks like the pendulum has shifted. Talking about the nomination of ambassadors, talking about the new appointment of the new defense minister, talking about declaring a state of emergency when it comes to security in Nigeria. Would you say then that the president is really paying attention to governance?
Well, to an extent, you want to agree.
Compared to
yes, you want to agree
ago.
because at least people are actually seeing that their outcry or their rejection is actually being heard. But I think for an average Nigerian, what will really matter now is how what exactly is getting to their table, the value of the economy, the naira in their pockets. That's when they start seeing the president as yeah, you're doing a very good job. But yes, for people who are very political savvy and conscious, they want to say, okay, at least to an extent, the president is actually listening. It starts from something very small. When you start listening, it means that it's going to trickle down to you actually listening to economic reforms that is going to shape and change the life of people. So yeah, I think to an extent, you want to say he has actually shifted ground a bit, and that's what democracy does to you because people have voices. They start pressuring, and when they start pressuring, and that's why we've been crying that we don't need one state party. We need a major party. We need opposition party that can really push the ruling party, press them, and then make them understand the end. So it is good. I think to an extent, I just hope that it continues so that you're going to see that really go down straight to what the economy says. Then you can now say
So you said something, Jamin, that in a democracy there must be a viable opposition.
Very well.
So talking about oppositions, let's talk about the ADC, which is the mega opposition. So Peter Obi, who happens to be a major player, or who is supposed to be a major player, came out recently and dropped a bombshell. He says that the ADC, that the coalition actually is shaky. Guys, how can you even say stuff at this time? But hey, that's what he said. You're going to take a listen in a short while. He said the coalition is shaky. Why? Because of unresolved zoning formula. That's what Peter Obi said. Peter Obi, who is still in the Labour Party, who El Rufai said is going to be joining the ADC officially soon. Peter Obi, who ran for the president in the last general elections. So let me take you to X now so you see what the cable is saying in this regard, and then you will take a listen to what Peter Obi has to say. The cable says, ADC coalition shaky over unresolved zoning arrangement. Peter Obi, presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP in the 2023 elections, says the African Democratic Congress ADC coalition is faltering because it has yet to settle questions on zoning and the rotation of key offices. The former Anambra governor spoke in an interview on YouTube by Advocacy for Good Governance on Wednesday. Obi added that the coalition must tidy up those loose ends and agree on a shared direction for the country. Guys, it's a bombshell, and I tell you, netizens are reacting. Take a listen.
Today, I'm a member of Labour Party.
Okay.
And I subscribe to coalition, ADC coalition for 2027 election.
Okay.
And I believe in it.
Okay.
But as much as I believe in it, I need to know the fundamentals that we all agree to respect. But in all this, there's still some fine lines that we need to respect, where things must be done properly, where we must sit down and talk about where are we driving the country to. Today we have what we can say unsigned agreements.
Okay.
About the presidency.
Okay.
Unsigned agreements about rotation of offices.
Okay.
Which is why if this person will come from here, this person will come from here, all those things needs to be organized. The reason why it needs to be organized is that if you don't do it, you create confusion for the future.
The election is almost here, and you people have not agreed. So what time are you not going to agree?
Forget about, even if it takes us 1 week to agree, they do. If Nigerians wants this country to change, we can make a change.
There's a thing that the society desires, is an answer. Now that answer is a lot of...
Today, I'm a member of Labour Party.
Okay.
And I subscribe to coalition, ADC coalition for 2027 election.
Okay.
And I believe in it.
Okay.
But as much as I believe in it, I need to know the fundamentals that we all agree to respect. But in all this, there's still some fine lines that we need to respect, where things must be done properly, where we must sit down and talk about where are we driving the country to. Today we have what we can say unsigned agreements.
Okay.
About the presidency.
Okay.
Unsigned agreements about rotation of offices.
Okay.
Which is why if this person will come from here, this person will come from here, all those things needs to be organized. The reason why it needs to be organized is that if you don't do it, you create confusion for the future.
The election is almost here, and you people have not agreed. So what time are you not going to agree?
Forget about, even if it takes us 1 week to agree, they do. If Nigerians wants this country to change, we can make a change.
There's a thing that the society desires, is an answer. Now that answer is, a lot of people have asked me, Miju, is your ask, sir, are you contesting for 2027 election? If yes, are you still a Labour Party or you have left Labour Party? Because we've been hearing coalition, nobody knows what's going on.
Today I'm a member of Labour Party.
Okay.
And
that's the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023, I beg your pardon, presidential election, Peter Obi, talking about the details they actually need to resolve in the ADC before they move on to the next level. Let's take some reaction from netizens. Of course, this one from Honorable really want to say, ADC coalition, we have not agreed on some key areas, Peter Obi. The same man who claimed to have attended all crucial meetings also stated that he would join the ADC after the Anambra election. More reactions? EJ said, Peter Obi's problem, in my view, is simple. He wants to get the flag bearer nomination for the party unopposed. This fundamental and probably disappointment, which is the lack of an automatic coronation-style ticket, is fueling his campaign of word dribbling. His speeches are now less about policy and more about vague, disruptive language designed to show discord, undermine legitimate opposition, and generally confuse the electorate. Every public statement of his seems to have a single goal. If he can't have the ticket by himself, destabilize the opposition. This is not leadership, it is sabotage. He went on to say, the opposition already has a monumental task ahead of it. We cannot afford for any single person's ambition to overshadow the collective good, nor can we tolerate one individual attempting to sabotage the entire movement. Every distribution, large or small, is vital. Whether the ultimate outcome is victory or defeat, what truly matters is that we put in and in a unified, dedicated effort.
All right, so there are more reactions. Let's continue to take a look at them. So, Tobechukwu Isaiah, I hope so, says he should abandon them if they are not ready to give him the ticket. Osoji Samuel Chidera says, in other words, Obi come and be our party flag bearer. I'm saying defense because that's our next hashtag. But Osiji says, in other words, Obi come and be our party flag bearer. I've maintained that the ADC should close Peter Obi's chapter and forge ahead. The plan is to build a good political party. The worst that will happen is Tinubu will win again. And then finally, Chidi says ADC must tighten those loose ends. I mean, is the cookie crumbling already, Ikechukwu? I mean, the cookie is still supposed to be in the oven and it looks like it's crumbling.
It's expected.
Expected?
Yeah, it's expected. Peter Obi is mentioning that he just wants to do 4 years. It's another word for him saying if you are not willing to allow the South to continue, finish at 8 years, you're not having me. It's simple. I'm actually also saying I will do 4 years. They're also telling you, come on, if this has to work, then you must honor the North and South agreement. Of course, not to also forget that Erufai is saying Peter Obi is joining soon. Maybe Erufai, I'm just saying, maybe Erufai is one of the persons who is rooting. We say, okay, maybe we can actually try a Southerner to actually upseat, a Southerner. Because trust me, whatever the case is, yes, if you say you don't like, the president today, whoever is going to or should continue or finish the remaining 4 years should be a Southerner for equity. That's what it is. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is someone who is very ambitious, just like every other politician. I think it's his right to also contest, but I think they have to really resolve it. It's just 4 years for the South to continue to finish their own term in office. And like I said before, Peter Obi's got his own, a card somewhere in his chest. If they don't fine-tune this, open it, zone it to a particular part. This is actually what made the PDP crumble, because they were unable to actually resolve the zoning thing. The ticket is supposed to come to the South. Eventually, Atiku took it in 2023. So if they fail to actually do this time in the ATC again, I think everyone in the ATC should really sit down and ask themselves exactly what they want. Do they want? Because if they decide to run like they did in 2023, Peter Obi might obviously still pull the same weight he pulled. Atiku will also pull the same weight he pulled. He's going to leave the president back in the same position where he actually left it in 2023, which means if the measure fails to work, they're definitely working for the president to actually come back to office in 2027.
Somebody actually said that, in one of the responses. But hey, it's going to be unfortunate if the coalition is not able to close ranks and put up a united front. It's going to be really, really, really unfortunate. Like Ikechukwu said earlier on, in a democracy, a viable opposition is a must-have. Yeah, not having one actually is a no-no. Why don't we move on away from politicking now to matters of security? So, the defense minister who was nominated by President Tinubu 2 days ago, screened by the Senate yesterday, has been sworn in by the president today. This is some speedy appointment, I can tell you. It's in the person of General Christopher Musa, retired. He is now officially the defense minister and he's hitting the ground running. So Bayo Ananiga went online to give us just a very crypt sentence announcing he's swearing, and people actually responded. So that's it. Bayo Ananiga says, General Christopher Musa takes oath of office as Nigeria's new defense minister. Responses now. So Bashir Ahmed, OON, Ikechukwu, are you not shocked?
Very shocked.
Yeah, Bashir Ahmed, he says we really mean business. And then Farmer Akin Alabi says, God bless him and protect him. Abefe says, congrats, CJ. More reactions. So Phyllis says, I join all Nigerians in welcoming our new Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa. We are happy and proud that you are now in charge of keeping Nigeria safe. This is what all Nigerians expect from you. End Boko Haram, banditry, and kidnapping quickly. Bring real peace to the northeast, northwest, and every part of Nigeria. Give our soldiers better pay, good food, and modern weapons so they can win easily. Secure the borders properly to stop bad people and weapons from entering. Work with honesty and treat every tribe and religion fairly. We believe in you to protect us, make us safe, and make Nigeria proud again. The whole country is behind you. That's the concluding part to this post. And it says, do not compromise, do not play tribal politics, protect Nigerians from all tribes, and Nigerians will forever stand behind you. And lastly, reduce the military checkpoints in the southeast. That's an interesting one. And then he says, good luck to you, concerned citizens. Talking about a tall order and the kind of expectations from Nigerians. So the CDC said it yesterday that, look, he went on social media, he saw the amount of expectations from netizens and Nigerians and that he cannot afford to fail. I think we have him saying that. Nigeria Stories has that particular comment. We'll take a look at it and then we'll put up the CDC, former CDC, CDS really. So Nigeria Stories says, I went to social media and I was shocked with the response to my nomination as Minister of Defense. I can't afford to fail myself, my family, and Nigerians. General Christopher Musa says. Take a listen, guys.
Them to go down. But on expectations, so I can tell you, I'm also feeling the heat because when I see the expectations, when my name was mentioned, I know that I cannot afford to fail myself, fail my nation, fail my family. Whatever that we need to do, we will put in the very best, and we know God on our side, we're going to succeed. So it's important, sir, that we must continue to work together. And I assure Nigerians, I really appreciate the responses to the Senate, National Assembly as a whole, the entire Nigerians. I went to social media, I was shocked when I saw the response. And it shows that people are really committed in showing that Nigeria is peaceful. So when people go around saying Nigerians, we don't love ourselves, I say, no, they don't really know who Nigerians are. And it also brings me to the issue that we have on the issue of whether genocide or no genocide. We're all victims. Everybody is being killed. Everybody is dying. So that's why it's important that we must work.
There you go, Ikechukwu. Hashtag defense ministers. Formerly the defense minister.
Yeah.
And he says he's feeling the heat. So much expectation, right?
Yeah, it's so much expectation. To whom much is given, much is expected. And see, I mean, listening to him, I just feel sorry for him.
Well, no, he sounds optimistic.
Yeah,
he says he's going to do the job.
You know why
right?
I say I feel sorry for him?
You know.
I understand the enormous, the level of task, you know, from where I stand as an ordinary citizen compared to him, a military man, you know, what he needs to do. And if just one approval from, you know, people who actually hired him, if that goes wrong, everything's going to come right crumbling, you know, right at his feet. And Nigerians would just see him as another incompetent person. You know, in the history of this country, if you look at the ministers, whenever a president's actually, you know, rolling out his cabinet, people look at Minister of Finance, look Minister of this, Minister of... People rarely pay attention to Minister of Defense. Rarely, like people don't care. But this seems to be like the most, you know, talked about minister in this particular cabinet. Now, this is not even a minister that goes about holding press briefing week in, week out. But then he's at the thick of, you know, what Nigerians need the most. And that's why it's really, I really feel sorry for him. But I just hope he succeeds. Because in the end, if he's able to do that, but like Constantine also pointed, the roadblock, military checkpoints out is too much. Like, too much. You have to be there to understand how bad it is.
But there's a reason for it. Right?
No.
Well, once upon a time, it was a hot spot for insecurity. There was kidnapping, there were killings, and that was when this sit-at-home thing was really at the peak.
It's been there even before then. That's the problem.
But it intensified during that period.
It's still very much the same. It's not about the checkpoint. In fact, right, there were cases of, you know, people being kidnapped just few miles poles away from where military checkpoints are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have to find out from the citizens themselves, those in the north, in the southeast, if they actually want the military checkpoints
have been crying
to
for
be
a long
reduced.
time.
Yeah, it's probably a vox pop we have to do, right?
Absolutely.
To find out if they wanted. Yeah. So we'll wrap up that particular hashtag. We'll move on to another one which is related to the defense ministry. It's all about security in the nation. It's talking about shoot at sight. So Nigerians are actually dissecting the statements of the defense minister during his screening. And one of it is what Instablock Niger zoomed in on when he said, when you catch a bandit, he was talking to the military guys, shoot at sight. Let's take you to X now so you see how Instablock Niger is twisting this one now. He says, shoot on sight, shoot at sight. Don't wait for orders, Defense Minister Musa tells troops. Newly appointed Minister of Defense General Christopher Musa, retired, has instructed troops to shoot at sight and immediately engage any armed bandits the encounter, stressing that they must not wait for further directives. Speaking during his Senate screening on Wednesday, Musa said this firm order is crucial for frontline protection and restoring public trust in Nigeria's security response. He issued the directive while addressing lawmakers' concerns about delays in giving commands during insurgent confrontations. The next one. So this is the concluding part of that post. According to him, that's talking about the defense minister who was being screened yesterday. Once deployed, troops automatically carry the mandate to neutralize armed criminals. He stated, quote, "You are to engage any criminal or any bandit that is armed and about to kill you. You don't have to wait. Once you are deployed, you automatically have that responsibility," end of quote. Musa warned that no soldier should claim to be waiting for authorization during imminent danger. He said, quote, "Somebody's aiming to shoot at you, you are waiting for orders." From who? If any member of the armed forces deployed anywhere tells you that he's waiting for an order, he is lying and he is only a coward, end of quote. And then he went on to say that he announced the plan to withdraw soldiers from routine checkpoints and redeploy them to active conflict zones, while the police and NSCDC take over checkpoint duties. This, he said, would allow soldiers to go into the bushes and take out these criminals. Musa stressed the importance of restoring security for farmers, noting farmers must be able to go back to their farms. Concluding part, if people can't eat, you can imagine what will happen. On the rising killing across regions, he described the perpetrators as a bunch of evil people on drugs, warning that, that's a quote by the way, warning that terrorists exploit gaps in security coordination, end of quote. No Nigerian must be killed for whatever reason, he added. He acknowledged the high expectations tied to his role. "I know I cannot afford to fail myself, my nation, my family," end of quote, like you listened to him say earlier on. So netizens are responding. Let's continue to take a look at them. Daniel Rega says, bandits who have been pardoned and rehabilitated should also have their pardons revoked. They should be brought to justice. The victims or their victims deserve that. The crafter says, so before now they were playing at sight. Now, wow, that's sarcasm, right? Kenneth says, Musa is working. Don Tobechuku says, this order above, or this order alone, will change a lot of things. It will unsettle the system. Those in the army protecting the terrorists. Shoot at sight. Don't bother arresting them. Then they later get released through the back door. Very good. What do you make of this?
Absolutely. I mean, it's actually very good. But then, military, like they always say, it's about chain of command. You know, the minister has given an order. Someone definitely had to, deploy you. The person is going to give you his own order there, and you have to follow through, right? I just hope that, in the end, if these guys actually go against, a direct order, and then they're brought to, military court martial or whatever the case is, he's definitely going to step in to say no, or he's going to actually create a system that no one who actually defy those sort of order that he actually placed for them to actually be safe is being persecuted. If that happens, then of course it's definitely going to be a very good one. That's exactly where I actually align myself with one of the netizens that said it's going to really unsettle the system, because there are certain persons who are vested interest in whatever it is that is going on, who are actually gaining from it within even the military ranks.
But he was very clear. I mean, he used to be a soldier. He just retired, or he was just retired, right? He said, if you are in the field and the bandit is pointing a gun at you, so you now stand and be waiting for orders.
No, in some cases, right?
No, he explained.
No, I'm not talking about him now. I'm saying in some cases, right, you might actually be deployed to a place and you were asked not to, go further until you are given further directive to go. Perhaps you have.
Look, he said once you are deployed to go fight bandits, he said you already automatically have the order. I mean, we listen to what he said, yeah? But I don't want for us to argue, over this much, but we've heard what he said. C'est fini. We move on to the last hashtag for today, which is hashtag Ned Nwoko. So the senator is trending again. It's crazy. In Nigeria, yesterday it was Two-Face versus Natasha. Today is Ned Nwoko versus Regina Daniels. Now, viewers' discretion, Also note that there's a caveat at the end of this particular video you're about to watch and this particular story I'm going to be reading. So take a listen keenly, yeah, from start to finish. I should say it is Ned Nwoko. Let me take you to X now. Trending Explain has this particular one. Shall we? Thank you. Regina Daniels is trending because a jail enthusiastic young suspected cultist claims Senator Ned Nwoko offered him 5 million naira to assassinate Gina. And she can't have sex anymore because of the oath, the legendary oath we heard she took when she was getting married to Ned. Trending Explained goes on to say, in the trending video, a hitman who claims he's one of Ned's home staff said Ned approached his gang, gave them her location, activity routine, and offered them 5 million naira each to kill her. But they rejected it because bursts into saying gibberish called slangs. Yeah, they're explaining the video you're about to watch. And rounded up saying Regina is just not safe with Ned Nwoko. In another video from mid-November, the hitman said he is working in Ned's home, that they were in court for custody of their kids, which the court asked them to split. And as they concluded court divorce, they went to the village for cleansing because Regina cannot have sex with any man unless they remove the oath she took that she will never sleep with another man. The next page of this post. We are supposed to have more responses to this. There's a concluding part of this post, and then Ned Nwoko also sent another post addressing this particular matter. This hashtag is incomplete if we don't have, you know, all of the facts involved here. Yeah, so there's a video. Oh, so it looks from the sky, the concluding part has suddenly fallen. Well, this is it. The hitman concluded that Ned is treating his madam poorly, that with her falling whatever, no man will want her anymore. So it goes on to say the interesting thing is it is just content. The hitman's handle is liar of TikTok, Total Cruise. At a time when cybercrime laws are actively enforced, Nigerians are impressed by the hitman's courage to accuse Ned Nwoko. Earlier this year, a TikToker, Tuma, casually said Regina had another boyfriend whom she was cheating on with Ned. Ned jails him for nearly 6 months until Showore got involved and gained his freedom. Liar of TikTok is expected to go on federal sabbatical soon. Do you know what that means?
Of course.
Jail. So Ned Nwoko now put up a document. Let's take a look at the next post. It's a document, right, by Senator Ned Nwoko himself. He put up this official statement that our attention has been drawn to a renewed pattern of online harassment, cyber stalking, and coordinated defamatory videos and publications targeted at distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko. These actions appear calculated to create a false narrative of persecution in order to serve ulterior motives. Senator Ned is fully engaged in his legislative, developmental, and business responsibilities and maintains no interest whatsoever in online distractions or fabricated drama. However, well, so I'm trying to wrap my head around this while I continue to read. Where's the however now? Well, he says, accordingly, Senator Ned has instructed his lawyer to file a petition with the Inspector General of Police, Director General, DSS, and the Commissioner of Police, Cybercrime Unit, to investigate and prosecute those responsible for ongoing cyber harassment and criminal defamation. The relevant digital footprints will be traced and lawful action will be pursued. Furthermore, the United States government and the United Kingdom are respectfully urged to note that attempts to stage artificial drama around a stable family structure for the purpose of gaining undue advantage are unacceptable. If any frivolous grounds are being put forward to seek asylum, such maneuvers should be discountenanced. Authorities are encouraged to rely on verified facts and legal processes rather than sensationalized narratives designed to mislead. Nigerians are encouraged to disregard the false narratives being circulated and allow proper legal processes to proceed. The senator remains focused on his work and continues to uphold dignity, responsibility, and due process. Signed, Communications Team, Office of Distinguished Senator Ned Muniru Nwoko. The however I was looking for earlier on is this. He was saying, however, when grave allegations are made, they must be addressed in accordance with the law, not through misinformation or emotional manipulation. Says we must caution the public that the growing culture of supporting deviant conduct, shielding wrongdoers, and attempting to weaponize public sympathy is damaging to our national values. Today, falsehood may be deployed against one individual. Tomorrow, it might be directed at anyone. I really, really took time to read out that whole official statement because it's a big deal. And in the spirit of fairness, right, and objectivity, I'm not going to play you that video because apparently it is in contention right now. But the senator went on to put up a post about his happy family. And the woman he was caught in the photo with is not Regina Daniels this time, but the senior wife. Let's move on. It is still hashtag Ned Nwoko. Let's take a look at the next post. So Senator Dr. Prince Ned Nwoko says, in a world where noise travels faster than truth, I want to take a moment to speak about the woman I know, the woman I love, and the woman I cherish. My wife, Layla. She is a woman whose quiet strength continues to amaze me every single day. Layla is not someone who lives on social media. She has never been the type to chase attention or respond to every passing opinion. She prefers a peaceful and private life where her energy goes to the things that truly matter, not the distractions that come with the online world. Anyone who truly knows her understands her gentle nature, her maturity, and her sincere kindness. She is thoughtful, patient, respectful, and incredibly caring. And he goes on to sing Layla's praise. Let's take a look at the concluding part of this post. And then I Occupy Nigeria is jumping on this one. I want us to actually take a look. So I'm just going to go to the last paragraph where he says, over the years I have seen her, that would be Layla, handle challenges with patience and grace that inspire me. She does not rush to prove herself to anyone. She allows time, truth, and character to speak for her. That is one of the many reasons I respect her deeply. I Occupy Nigeria says, let's take a look at it. It's actually clamping down on the senator. Let's take a look at his response. All this epistle you dey write, it just they look like you one form say you don't forget Regina, or you dey try make Regina jealous, or whatever the motive be. But truth be say, nobody send. You no be content creator, you no be lifestyle influencer, you be senator of the Federal Republic. We get kidnapping, insecurity, bad roads, collapsed schools and hospitals. Nigeria did born. Now governance update we dey expect from you. No be relationship diary. I beg, face your work. Gosh, that's like cold. But it's called hard facts, right?
Well, I mean, this is Ned's family. I think he has the right to speak about it.
I Occupy Nigeria is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, being a senator and
it's not Ned's family. The way you said it, people would now start thinking I Occupy Nigeria is part of.
I'm talking about Ned's family now.
Oh, no.
What I Occupy Nigeria, I am responding to Occupy Nigeria. He's actually saying Ned should just face, his job as a legislator. Yes, I understand that part, but Ned's family is also called into question. He has to actually come out to make a statement. He's not a public figure, whether we like it or not, so he deserves to actually say something, at least for equity and balance. We should hear his own side of the story. But for the guy who actually started few things. A real court boy will not come out to do that thing. Rather, he can actually approach Regina and say, this is what we got. And then she or her team will be the one to say, Ned wants to kill you.
Yeah, we've seen all of that. It's fake news.
Yeah,
right? It's content creation. And the senator is going to take it up. He said, and he's talking about the UK and US not interfering.
Because the truth is, people like this sometimes do these things.
And then they fly out of the country.
This thing. So I think it should be made to taught a lesson so that other persons will not. Because you're
saying the content creator should be taught a lesson.
Absolutely, so that people will not use this as a means to actually start. It's a very serious matter. What the family is going through, and then claiming these sort of things is actually not healthy for anyone.
On that note, we wrap things up right here. Be sure to catch the latest regarding this particular matter, as well as all other things we've brought to your notice today. Thanks to everyone who contributed, like I said, to making the show a success. But the bigger thanks goes to you, actually, for watching. Until we come your way again, I am Vivian Oguche, and he's Ikechukwu Agu. See you soon. Bye for now.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horn